Back here in Manhattan, the jury in the former President Donald Trump's criminal trial got a one-day break. Testimony is expected to resume Thursday. Former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker is expected back on the stand. He's already detailed efforts to buy and kill stories to protect Trump and promote fake stories about his opponents. That included plans to pay off former adult film actor Stormy Daniels. Prosecutors say it was to keep her quiet about an alleged sexual encounter with Trump, which he denies. Trump faces 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in connection to his 2016 presidential campaign. The 77-year-old presumptive GOP nominee has a packed legal schedule, I should say, as he faces 3 other criminal cases. That includes one in Georgia, where he's charged with plotting to overturn his 2020 election loss, and in Florida, where he's accused of mishandling classified records after leaving the White House. The Supreme Court is also poised to discuss Thursday whether the former president is entitled to immunity from federal prosecution. For more analysis on the trial, CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman joins me now here at Studio 57. Rikki, good to see you. What's your response to the Pecker testimony, and did we learn things that we didn't know?
It depends on who the you is. I think that those of us who have studied this case and have read everything that we possibly could since he was indicted, we know a lot about David Pecker. I think the public over a certain age, perhaps I'll call it 30, knows about the National Enquirer. That is, you go to the grocery store, and as you were about to check out, you would see this rag, as we called it, this newspaper or magazine, that would come up with this outrageous set of headlines and photographs about very famous people, both political and celebrity, and you would go, oh, there's the National Enquirer again, and then you'd say, I wonder if some of that is true. And one of the things that happened during David Pecker's testimony on Tuesday is that we were reminded not only of the headlines that were out there against Trump's opponents that supposedly were put in place by virtue of his relationship with Michael Cohen and Donald Trump, whether it was about Ted Cruz, whether it was about Marco Rubio, but we were reminded of the tawdry quality, the salacious quality of the Enquirer and what it did to people's lives. This is not a stand-up nice guy. This is a guy who was buried in slime throughout his life in terms of his working as the publisher of the Enquirer. So the question is, why should we believe him now?
Well, thank you for setting up the second question, which is, if this is a thoroughly despicable character, as you've outlined him, and his acts would seem to support that, why, does that mean in a cross-examination he's open? What would that look like in terms of his what the defense will do with him?
Well, one of the things that prosecutors always have to face in cases of complexity that involve very unsavory people is you have to say, look, this is Donald Trump. This man, David Pecker, was Donald Trump's friend. That's not our fault, the prosecutor says. We have to put up the witnesses who have the knowledge. And the witnesses who are really the bookends of this case for the prosecution are flawed. David Pecker begins the case, and at some point, Michael Cohen, whether it's in the middle or the end, he's really the end of the case.
A very quick question to you. In the debate over this gag order, the president's defense attorney got into a spat with the judge, at which point the judge said, you're losing all credibility with the court. You've been before judges. How much of a problem is having a judge say that to you?
It's a big problem, because it's not only that Todd Blanche was told he was losing credibility with the court in a gag order hearing. That means that loss of credibility carries out throughout the case. And Todd Blanche is going to have to watch his step, because if that shows with the jury in any way, yes, the jury looks to the judge for guidance. The jury looks to the judge for the truth. That's a problem for Todd Blanche.
Rikki Klieman, thank you so much as always.